Since 1994, Hollywood has attempted to capture the first family of Marvel in live action, and as we've discussed this past month, they're not all as bad as you remember, but they're certainly all fall short of a great Fantastic Four movie. This week, we'll see if we've finally beaten that curse. Welcome to Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Welcome back to Half-Ass Movie Podcast, the show where we put together a half-ass theme as an excuse to watch movies. My name is Adam Portress, and joining me today, he's the ever-loving, blue-eyed, sweet Sean Go-Backs from the internet.
Tell Franklin Uncle Johnny loves him.
And when Mole Man hit the screen, he rolled a tear. Bruce Leslie.
Hey, feeling as unsettling as a rocky beard on Thing's face.
I wasn't that felt like that was from a comic at some point.
It sure feels like it, but if it wasn't, it looks great.
It does. I was kind of shocked. I was just like, what is going? You know what? I approve. It looks like a weird thing that would happen in a Peter David book for some reason. I don't know why Peter David came to mind when it's just like characters just having a beard when they're kind of not supposed to. He was kind of known for that, I think.
He was. I mean, you know, you think about what he did to Aquaman, and like he really loved the Multiple Man. Like he had so many ideas for the Multiple Man. And so, yeah, it would make total sense that he would come up with like, oh, well, the Thing can grow a beard.
Why not?
He just takes it off with a sander.
Hey, but listen, we got to see it all. We got to see it all in our glorious form here and everything, because this month we have looked at all of these Fantastic Four movies, from the 90s Roger Corman classic to the Tim Story take on the Silver Surfer to Josh Trank's, we'll call it 3/4 of a good movie that really turns super bad after Dr. Doom shows up. Now we are on to the latest movie from Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four First Steps, which debuted at #1 at the box office this weekend. So a big summer for both Marvel and DC. Who'd have guessed that at this point, right?
It's a flashback to the year 2013.
It's really bizarre. I was just like, man, one of these, and when we talked about our kind of like most anticipated movies of the year, this and Superman were in my top 5. And I was trepidatious about both of them, and we'll see how this one works out. But the Superman, gladly surprised in this one. I'll tip it early. I like this movie, but we'll get into all that kind of good stuff and everything. But was it fairly packed when you guys ended up going?
Yeah. I went last night, like at the 8:00 show, and it was jammed. It was jammed full.
I went to a Saturday matinee and not very many people in it at all. Just like I took my son and his girlfriend, and that was about it for the whole place.
Yeah, Thursday at 4 p.m. in the premium theater, and we had a little over a quarter of a theater, and for that time and the price that you're paying for the ticket and all that kind of good jazz, that was a pretty good showing, I thought, comparatively to a lot of the other stuff that's out there. So they're really kicking it out there, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see where else we're kind of going this, but we'll get into all that. But before we do want to remind people that this show you're listening to right now, or maybe even watching, is a live stream. HMP episodes are now streamed every Sunday night over at YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, all of your big streaming sites and everything. Show starts around 8 p.m. Eastern, so come hang out with the other Dirty Babies here in the chat. And of course, if you're on YouTube and you want to show a little extra love for this show, why don't you drop us a super chat, aka Portress Bucks.
Portress Bucks.
And when you do that, you'll hear that little fun sound right there. And of course, we'll read your little super chat there at the end of the program and everything. We appreciate all of you guys. And again, liking, subscribing, sharing, and all that kind of good stuff. And outside of HMP proper, we got a lot of other videos and stuff for you to check out on that YouTube page, movie reviews, other live streams during the week, including the Movie Magic Marathon, where I go through and just kind of look at old videos and kind of just laugh at them, make fun of them and whatnot. And of course, we got our TikTok Trash Tuesdays, where I take a lot of movie takes from TikTok. We laugh, we cry, we maybe even rage a little bit, but who knows? But do check us out over there, and then we really appreciate that. Like, subscribe, and all of those things. We really appreciate it. If you really, really love this show, and I mean you really love it, why don't you head on down to patreon.com/HMP. There you get pre-show, post-show, Digger Zone, and wouldn't you know it, you can be a dirty baby and get on the list right here. Check it out. I finally put together a little super so we can see all the dirty babies' names here on everything.
Hey.
So, thank you guys all for helping support this show at any level. You get pre-show, post-show, Dinger Zone, and all that kind of good stuff, and get to vote on stuff every once in a while. So we really appreciate all of you guys. And if you can't do that, again, just go through all of the fun stuff over at the YouTube pages and whatnot. That's really the best place for you to kind of get in contact with us. And I finally, After all of this time, I finally put together an HMP Instagram page. So if you're not like, I don't want to be on the TikTok or whatever, and you're an Instagram person, HMP is now on Instagram as well. So you can see some of the video highlights from this show and other little kind of stupid things and memes and whatnot that we kind of put out there. So links are in the show notes for all that, or just look up Half-Ass Movie Podcast. We're right there. We have no subscribers right now because it's so darn new, but I've got plenty of material up there because I loaded it up for you because I knew you was going to come by and take a look. So I want you to
You need to put some Bronson thirst trap photos up. That'll get.
Oh my goodness! Listen, I want to. We don't want to blow up too fast. You know what I'm saying, right, big boy? Don't exploit me.
Having a little red bandana around his neck. People can't wait to see.
It's true. Yeah. So if you want to make sure that Bronson eats proper food every month, just head on over to the Patreon or YouTube or any of those things. We really appreciate it. Honestly, it's surprising. We are less than 500 away from our 20,000 goal here for subscribers and everything. So keep that chugging along. And the way that we do that is you guys like and subscribing and sharing and commenting and all that stuff. Do it as soon as you see the thing, man, because for whatever reason, YouTube just likes the new, fresh stuff. And the faster and more people are talking about it, the more that kind of stuff spreads around. So thank you guys for all of that kind of good stuff.
If I can say, I'm very proud of Bronson that he knows his blocking.
Yeah.
He's perfectly blocked. Also, when you mention him and you turned around, immediately looks up on cue, goes back down. Oh, didn't happen this time. Thanks.
He did look. He looked with his eye. He wasn't. I wish
Michael Keaton on that particular.
I do need another. We do need another close-up camera. So again, that's why we want you to go over to patreon.com/HMP.
I gotta say, I think that you'd get a whole lot more views instead of 3 middle-aged men. It's just a camera on Bronson as we're speaking.
We can put a fourth camera. It's like here's the thing. It costs so much more money per month to do it on StreamYard to where you can get another camera in for me. So patreon.com/HMP or the I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility. You guys just have to help make it a possibility. So please, for the love of everything, or just drop us an email, man. halfassmoviepod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you guys as well. All right, gentlemen. You know what it is. We got to get into it. I'm excited for this one. Let me see if I can get it moved up correctly here. And here we go. Here is the IMDb plot line for Fantastic Four First Steps. As we know, IMDb always 100% correct in everything they say and or do. Forced to balance their roles as heroes with the strength of their family bond, the Fantastic Four must defend Earth from a ravenous space god called Galactus and his enigmatic herald, Silver Surfer. Wow, good job, IMDb. Really good. And honestly, that's what I would hope would be the plot for most Fantastic Four things. Is something this similar, and like you can change out your villains and everything, but that's kind of what a Fantastic Four movie should be. I think we might have learned something this time around. This is written by a buttload of writers. It's amazing this movie isn't actually slop, to be honest with you. I won't break down who's all here and everything, but the people that wrote this bad boy are Josh Friedman, Eric Peterson, Jeff Kaplan, Ian Singer, and a story by Cat Wood. I got my eye on you, Cat Wood. I don't know what else you've done here, but your name just showed up as like, I came up with this story. For what? Very suspicious. I don't know. Directed by Matt Shankman. Matt Shankman got his big break directing a ton of episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and most recently had his run on the Disney Plus series WandaVision. This, of course, is starring Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Evan Moss-Bachrach, Joseph Quinn, Ralph Ineson, Julia Gardner, Natasha Lyonne, Paul Walter Hauser, and cameos by all 4 Corman Fantastic Four crew members. How about that?
That's all right.
That's not too shabby right there. When I saw that, I was just like, you know what? Good on you, movie. So, gentlemen, going into this thing, any expectations at all?
I expected greatness. I really did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just from the moment that I saw they were going to give it a legitimate production, kind of looking at the timing and the fact that they were going to go retrofuturistic, they were going to give it that incredible setting, which is what we, I say we'll take credit for it back at volume 1 of this show. It was what we said they had to do to make it work.
Yeah.
And from the moment I saw they were willing to do that, and they weren't doing a Fantastic Four Disney Plus show, because I would have felt very differently if that was the announcement.
Yes.
No, I've had like high as can be, because the bar to satisfaction has been set so low at the Fantastic Four that a 3-star movie is going to feel like a 7-star movie. You know what I mean? So that's why I just had super high expectations.
Yeah, I get it. For me, I went in with very low expectations for a couple of reasons. One is with James Gunn's Superman being as good as it is, I know that nerds can't have a ton of nice things. So I didn't really expect there to be a lot. Like, I expected the Fantastic Four movie to be a serviceable movie. I think it's far better than that. I think that it's one of those movies where I could feel almost from the jump of this movie that they took all of their creatives. Marvel basically took all of their creatives that are their shining stars, and they put them all into this one movie. Mm-hmm. Everyone's working at a very high level, and I have sort of like a crackpot theory on this, which is that I think because they used so many of their good people on Fantastic Four, it's why Marvel, in my opinion, has been churning out garbage for the last few years, is because they focused their good people on this one project.
Oh yeah, so they gave everybody else the dum-dum work.
Right, and it shows. I honestly believe this. I have no facts, but I honestly believe they handpicked their favorites, their favorite creators, their best people to work on Fantastic Four, because you can't pull off this movie if something is lagging, right? Because if the writing is being done incredibly well, and the acting is being done incredibly well, and there's a clear vision of direction in this movie, which I think a lot of Marvel movies have not had in many, many years. If something is off, if it's the costumes, if it's the music, if it, any one of those things, it's going to shine like a flashlight in the dark, because you need it all to be firing on all cylinders all the time in order for it to work. And this movie works in every way. Is it a perfect movie? No, but it is a very, very good movie. And I think it's so good. This is the question that I had for Bruce before we started recording. I wanted to know what his kids thought about it, because it feels like this movie was made specifically for middle-aged men like us. And you know what? I'm totally fine with that. You want to keep making movies for me? That's great.
I like me.
Me
I
too.
like doing the things that I like. Please make more for me.
But I'm wondering if this movie appeals to a younger audience, because Bruce, your boy's is in his teens.
He's 17. Yeah, Silas went with me, and he liked it a lot. I think after some time to think about it, he may have liked it better than Superman, which is saying a lot because he really likes Superman. Mm-hmm. And so I communicated with him, but he's also a pretty enthusiastic comic book fan and superhero fan in general. So mm-hmm. he's going to come into it with a certain perspective that maybe your average kid isn't.
One of the things I can tell you is that a lot of the normies that I speak to, like non-nerds who are watching these two films, Superman and Fantastic Four, I'm hearing from a lot of normies that like they thought Superman was good. They didn't love it. They thought Cavill was a better Superman. I'm hearing that from a lot of normal people, right? But with Fantastic Four, everyone's kind of just like gobsmacked at what they just watched, and they think it's really just an incredible movie. They're shocked with how much they liked it. And it's kind of surprising to me because everybody knows Superman already, I would say to you that people like normal folk probably have a good idea of what the Fantastic Four is. They've probably saw one of those Jessica Alba movies in the early 2000s, but it's a passing interest at best, right? So for normal people to be paying money to see a Fantastic Four movie and walking out of it just like, it's pretty incredible to see. And I'm just looking at it so judiciously. I'm looking at it from like the perspective of like I said at the beginning, like, oh, Marvel got all their best people on this, like because Marvel can make this movie. They just haven't in a long time. But they chose to do it again with all the right people, and it worked.
I think
feel like if you pump the brakes a little bit and stuff like that, and just focused more like this, where you could have, you know, a couple of really big swings that are amazing and everything, I think people would like that far more than we would like, you know, a handful of, you know, we'll call them sixes to be nice.
I think they recognized that the stakes were incredibly high with this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, for the Fantastic Four as a property, how many false starts can they survive? And then also, this is the kind of property that is going to bring some people back in who've already checked out on the Marvel Universe or on superheroes in general. It's kind of crazy that 2 weeks apart, both Warner Brothers and Disney had their high stakes gambles that would determine whether or not this future even exists in this sector of films. And maybe this is like a historic cinema month where this third act of superhero movies is going to come around because of both of these films.
Agreed.
So, yeah, I just think it's an interesting thing to be living through. But I think they recognize that the stakes were high, which is only half the battle. You know, the second part of recognizing something is doing something about it. So not only did they recognize that they did something about it, they have laid down the expectation for what this next phase of the Marvel universe better be like.
And I think super high.
I think they're going to feel a lot of pain too if they don't follow through with this.
Yeah. I mean, think about Marvel after the first Avengers movie. They come out with, you know, a couple of movies that aren't great. Like Iron Man 2 is not a great movie. The first Thor movie is not a good movie. Actually, that came out before Avengers. What am I talking about?
Yeah, but the second Thor movie.
Second Thor movie. Thank you. Yeah. The second Thor movie is not great. And then comes along James Gunn with Guardians of the Galaxy, and everybody's kind of like, oh, wait a minute. This movie that I don't know who these people are is amazing. We should all go see this movie. And it kind of, you know, helps out Marvel along the way. And I think that that's what this movie is going to do as well. I think that this movie is going to have it's going to have long legs. I mean, this is a movie that's going to be in theaters for a while because there's nothing coming up that's like it, right? I mean, the next thing that's like sci-fi nerds, like my next movie as a sci-fi nerd that I'm looking forward to is Tron Ares. That's in September. And I know that I am in a very small group of people who are looking forward to a new Tron movie. But when it comes to this movie, The Fantastic Four, one of the things I'm thinking as I'm watching it last night is I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be some 7-year-old kid's favorite movie. Because he saw it with his parents, and it turned out to be this fantastical journey, and it's unlike anything else he's ever seen before, because that is the trick with this movie. It doesn't feel like anything else. I mean, the closest thing I could think of last night is something along the lines of like we talked about previously, The Incredibles a little bit, but that's a cartoon. And maybe that Disney movie with George Clooney from a few years ago, directed by Brad Bird, that tanked.
Yeah.
What's it called? Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
Tomorrowland.
Oh, I forgot that even existed until this.
Exactly.
It's a boring ass movie. That's why.
Yeah, it's really not good. And I wanted to like it a lot because I love retrofuturism. I
saw it opening night. Yeah, I forgot all about it.
And then
I think most middle-aged dudes love retrofuturism because it's just so damn cool. What if Mad Men took place in space?
I mean, we probably all fell in love with like replayed serials on TBS on a Sunday morning
or the Jetsons. The Jetsons.
You know what? Probably that's the far more obvious solution. I may be the odd one out in that I went to the old serials like Flash Gordon.
Well, you know, you are ancient, so that makes sense, though.
One of the things that I love to talk about when it comes to the originality of this movie, which sounds so weird, talking about a Marvel movie, is one, like I was discussing earlier, just that it feels so different than any other superhero movie you've ever seen. It's not like any other superhero movie you've ever seen. That's one. Two is that it is so obvious when you're watching this movie that Reed and Sue are banging. And that does not happen in Marvel movies. Even when the Hulk is dating Scarlet Witch, not Scarlet Witch, sorry, Black Widow. Even when they're dating, it doesn't. It feels forced. It feels fake. I have no problem believing that these two people are constantly all over each other.
Yeah, very, very well communicated through the performances. I can say that.
Yeah.
And the casting helps it too, because there's something believable about it. And while we're talking about casting, Vanessa Kirby, like, you know, super familiar face, but I couldn't tell you where I know it from. But I think
possible.
I think in terms of just based on physical appearance alone, you add in the fact that I think she's a solid actor.
Yeah.
This is a perfect Sue Storm. Like, I think
She
she looks the way a human Sue Storm should be looking.
I will tell you, and I know that I'm going to get some blowback for this. I think of your four mains in this movie, right? Of the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
It is, I think the weakest performance of these four people is Pedro Pascal, and he's not bad. Like, he's doing a really good job. It's just that what Kirby has to pull off as Sue. Oh, we're not on. We're not on right now.
The thing is, you and I may be on. I don't know.
Oh, I see.
So I don't know what happens when he gets
we shall
put
see.
out of the equation, but we may want to watch what we say to be on the safe side.
That is true. How does this work? I'll finish my thought. Is that I think that what Vanessa Kirby has to do as Sue is it's so much more of a heavy lift than what Pedro Pascal has to do, because you can't piss off all the fanboys, like of that, especially that one segment of fanboys who don't want to see girl bosses in their movie anymore. Like, so she has to do both, be able to do both things, and she does them both perfectly. I think that Vanessa Kirby basically has to do as good a job as James Gunn had to do for Superman.
Wow, just on her shoulders alone.
I do, because I think that they know that they have the thing right. You know, like, we've never seen this version of the thing before, and we can talk ad infinitum about the thing once Adam comes back, because I know that that's his hobby horse. That's
absolutely
the thing he wants to talk about the most, and he should. He's
got a solid 45 minutes of comments on eyebrows alone. So.
Yes, exactly. But I think, and Johnny, they nailed that during the Jessica Alba 2000s.
Yes.
Like, they knew what they had. And also the Michael B. Jordan Johnny is good too. So they're not really worried about him. What they're most worried about is Thing and Sue. And Thing is perfect. It's just pitch perfect. You could see that they spent a lot of time thinking about, what does he look like? What does he sound like? How does he think? You know, what does his bedroom look like? You know, things like that. Like, they did a great job with that. But with Sue specifically, it's so based on her performance as an actress, because I think that the speech that they give her, when, you know, like, we're all family, we're of Earth, we're all of the same family. Like, they're not doing her any favors by giving her those lines. Yeah. That is not a great speech, but she is good in that performance. It's one of those things where it's like, we're going to tell you what the subtext of this entire movie is with this one speech. And having to pull that off as an actor, if you have a lesser act, if Jessica Alba is giving that speech, there's no way.
A different film.
It is. If she is, there's something about Vanessa Kirby that is very special. And by that, I mean this. I'm watching her last night. And first of all, the costumes in this movie, they'll never win an Academy Award because it's a Marvel movie, but they totally should. Because the way that they have Reed dressed and the way that they have Sue dressed is so impeccable. Like, Sue, when she's pregnant, is amazing. Sue, when she's just being, you know, like, hot lady, like, she's dressed great like that too. there are moments in this movie where I'm just watching her and I'm thinking to myself, like, this lady is so hot, and I didn't mean it sexually. I meant it like she looks so hot right now. It's almost like I'm her GFF, GBF. Yes. Like that's kind of how I felt watching her last night, where I'm like, that girl is so hot right now. I'm not I am not like I don't want to bang her, but she looks so hot.
What I'm hearing is that Vanessa Kirby is that key ingredient that was necessary to get that terminal velocity to escape the gravitational pull of the Alba curve.
That's so good.
Get past it.
You son of a bitch. You had that in the shoot, and I thank you for it. That's very, very good.
I just, I don't know if any of that's been saved for posterity, but at least it's shared with you.
We should. No, that's great, man. That's great.
So we can come back to it for the show proper for more talk if Adam ever rejoins us. Because I mean, I don't know what the weather's like in South Carolina. It might not just be internet is down for a few minutes. It might be out until Wednesday. I don't know.
I do remember in the old days where he was basically using a potato for our show, and like I would cut in and out all the time, and I don't know how people listen to the show, quite honestly.
And Skype was terrible.
Yeah.
And that was like the best option there that we had for a long time.
Yeah.
One of the good things that came out of COVID is that this kind of thing got a lot less frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because boy, I remember just how many times did we wonder if it was worth it?
Oh, I mean, how many times did we shut down and have to start again? I mean, it happened all the time.
What was I think it was the RoboCop episode that we lost the whole episode.
Yeah, we did. That was the day that Adam was like, never again. We're not doing this ever again. I hope he doesn't still feel bad about that.
Oh, I'm sure that he will if you ever mention that you don't want him to.
That is how that guy works.
Yeah, I mean, it's life. Life finds a way.
That's really good. I'm honest to goodness surprised by normal people's reaction to this. Like this is one of those movies where, like I thought, like while I'm watching it, I'm not thinking about other people. I'm thinking about how much I enjoy it. But afterward, I was like, man, I don't know how normal people are going to take this. Like it's so fantastical.
Do you think this has a shot at the Production Design Award?
No, and I think that's a shame. This sort of movie never wins production design. You would have to basically start campaigning with the fact that they used as many practical effects as they possibly could during filming, but I don't think they're even going to try for it.
This made me feel the same way, just like atmosphere wise, the same way Beautiful or Poor Things made me feel.
Man,
Poor Things won that award. And I mean, like I knew before the end of the movie that was going to win the Oscar last year.
Yeah.
And I felt the same way with this, but I didn't know if it's just too far of an outside shot because of the style and the type of movie it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't see Marvel going for it. Maybe they will. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. But they would have to start the campaign early, and they would have to say how they had so many they had so many practical effects while shooting. Because there is a lot. There's way more than I thought there would be in this.
I think Adam just joined long enough to be dropped again.
Oh no! Yeah, I see.
I'm technically still back. I'm trying to work on the camera, but yeah.
Okay, good.
Sorry, so are we, Adam? We have a technical question for you.
Yeah.
Were we recording the entire time?
Hopefully, so you're recording within the live stream, and it'll go out to YouTube and everything. So I will still have all of that recording.
Cool.
Now, once we get back to here, then all of a sudden the sound is going to start sounding better, and people are going to be like, "What the hell's happening here? Why did it get bad and then back to good?" But fun. I'm still working on my thing here. You guys, you gentlemen, keep rolling.
Yeah. Okay. We'll keep.
I'll jump
we'll
back.
keep vamping.
So just to be clear, all of those racist jokes did not go out to everyone.
Not all of them, I don't.
Remember, kids, there's nothing funnier than accidental racism. It is the funniest thing there is. Getting back to the Fantastic Four, speaking of accidental racism, I think that the things that they needed to get right, I'm vamping here, so when Adam finally gets back, we can truly talk about
you
it.
just keep going. We're all good. It's being a turd. Oh, look,
Okay.
it's looking at the ceiling now. There we go.
Oh man,
There
this
he
reminds
is.
me of the early days. So long since we've had this kind of joy that we shared with people.
Yeah, this is like old times.
There we go. All right, let's go.
Okay. So one of the things that I was talking about, the point I was making earlier, which I think is going to upset some people, is that I think that of our four main actors in this movie, I think that Pedro Pascal is the weakest link between the four of them. However, Pedro Pascal is not doing a bad job in this film. He's perfectly serviceable. I believe him as Reed. I believe that he and Sue have a sex life off camera, which has never happened in a Marvel movie before. But I think that when you look at the other performances in this movie, there's bits of subtlety to everything. Like let me start with this, right? Because now that you're back, we can talk about the thing. So what was bothering me about the trailers for Fantastic Four is that you saw that one long scene of everybody cooking, which, yeah, I get it. Everyone's hanging out. And Ben Grimm, it has to, he has to put his 2 bits in because he's a foodie, which you guys immediately know gets my hackles up immediately.
How he tasted with them rock taste buds. It don't make no sense.
But what they are telling you in this movie, and it's in the performance, it's in the writing, it's in the direction of this movie, is that Ben talks about food all the time in this movie because it's the only thing that makes him feel human with other humans around in his own noggin. So when he's talking about food, he feels like a normal dude again. He's talking to a lady who runs the Jewish school. They're talking about cookies. It's always about food when he's talking, when he wants to feel like a normal person. That is so unbelievably subtle. I can't believe they dropped that in a Marvel movie. And it happens over and over again, right? Like, it's not enough for Reed to be smart. Everybody knows that Reed is smart, but there has to be some sort of disassociation with Reed and the rest of the Fantastic Four. He needs to be their leader, but there needs to be something up with him behind the scenes. And the way that they figure that out is I have to think of every eventuality so that I can plan against it. Even the really awful dark stuff I have to think about. And that's what separates me from the rest of my family. Incredible.
And he says, I can't cook, which says he's the one who's the least human of the four.
Right.
Not Ben Grimm, man. That is great. A great catch there, Sean, to see that like all the way through. I love that.
And then you think, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, it's exactly who Reed is. And that's the thing that kind of like, that wowed me about this movie more than anything is how it got the characterizations of everyone so dead on correct of what they should be and how all of these characters should feel. And like, yeah, like he would have that kind of thing. And that is what Reed thinks of every single possibility. Because again, that's his job.
Right. And think about this, right? Like, if you are just a filthy casual fan of the Fantastic Four, and you know the Fantastic Four from the Alba movies, what are the 2 things that you know about Johnny Storm? You know that Johnny liked go fast, Johnny liked hot girls. Those are the 2 things that you know about the movie. So instead of just making him an idiot, like he belongs in the Fast and the Furious movies, like the kind of way they portray him in the 2000 Jessica Alba Fantastic Four movies is, hey, listen, I also am, I'm not smart like Reed and Sue, but I have my own thing that I bring to the table.
I'm an awful lot of fun though.
He's the only one who takes the time because it's important to him, because he's sort of attracted to the Silver Surfer, to learn her language so he knows how to speak to her. And it shows that he's just not an idiot. Like, it's not just like, yeah, like, yes, he's into girls, he's into space, he's into going fast, he's into all of these things, but he's more than that. It's like whenever anyone gets James Kirk wrong with Star Trek, It's the same thing. Well, James Kirk likes banging aliens, and also, you know, he likes shooting people in the spaceship. That isn't who James Kirk is. That isn't, like, every time they write him wrong, that's how they've written him wrong. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with Johnny here. It's the first time I've ever seen Johnny outside of the comic books be more than just Johnny go fast, Johnny like hot chicks.
Now, I will say this. I have one tiny complaint, and because I like all the performance. I like how we show Johnny and everything here. It's just everything could have been fixed by one shot, or putting, like, you know, even like rotoscoping them into another shot or something. Because when he gets to the point where he just goes, Johnny likes hot girls, Johnny likes the Silver Surfer, whatever the line is. The comparison between
Johnny likes space, Johnny likes girls.
There you go. Well, we don't really see him with a lot of ladies. If you showed me like one thing with him with a hot chick around each arm, that solves all of the problems. But I don't think we ever really see that. So I've never just like, do we though?
But that's the thing,
ladies. Yeah.
That's the thing. That's also the same thing James Gunn does. Where, look, you've seen that before. You might also notice that the Invisible Girl does not get naked one time in this movie, and then isn't invisible anymore.
But she actually does things to help everybody out and whatnot. It's just like, wow, you've actually given this character something to do, and something that would warrant this character interacting within this particular scene, as opposed to just, you know, shrinking into the background, just going like, I got this one. No, they thought it through. And
I want to say that when I heard that Herbie was going to be in this, like, of course I've got a soft spot for Herbie. That cartoon came out when I was 6 years old. Like, of course I love that. But the fact that they made Herbie cool, where, oh, Herbie's going to come up, I got to change his face because this is the family Herbie, and I got to put in the spacefaring Herbie. Get out of here.
And that was the best part with Herbie, for sure.
Cassette tape in his face. Get out of here, man. That is some awesome shit.
And Herbie was used in this film just the right amount, just enough to tickle our fancy, but not enough to be intrusive, you know, not a Jar Jar level intrusion by any means. And yeah, that was far and away the best scene with Herbie.
I would say they put him to a BB-8 level, which is like just right amount, enough time to see you get a little bit of like, hey, that's super fun, but isn't such a crux. He's not R2D2, right?
He's not R2D2, but he is BB-8. Yes, that's good. I also think that having the Star Wars trick where he's talking to Reed and Reed can answer him back because he knows what he's saying. And I think he's the only one, right? I don't remember any of the other Fantastic Four speaking to him. To the robot? Yeah, they can hear him. He's got like kind of what I would call Kenny voice, whereas like if you listen hard enough, you can kind of pick it. And like my guess is that if they've all been around it enough where they can just go like, oh, I hear what he's saying. Yeah, I think I know what he's saying to me. Yeah, it's like, oh, no, why'd you curse like that? We need more to that though. Just but stop man, the robots from cursing. When they pull that cassette tape out of his face and they put in the space cassette tape, ooh man,
it's labeled on top.
Yeah, it just took me to another level immediately. Also, I love. There's that moment in the movie where Reed is about to Sue's pregnant with Franklin, and Reed decides that he's tired of all these criminals around New York City. So he just comes up with a plan on how to get rid of all of them. And he's like, that guy's gone. This is where this guy is. This is where this guy is. This is where this guy is. And we're just going to take them all out at once. And they do. Yeah. Like there's something really amazing about that. Like, look, I was letting them get away with this because I didn't have a child at the time. Now I do. We are not going to stand for these shenanigans anymore. I love it. Man. I love it so much. And the fact that Mole Man will only talk to Sue. I mean, come on, man.
I love that touch. I love that Mole Man was featured so prominently in the third act, I guess, because I was afraid it was going to be like a throwaway joke, just a cameo more than anything else. And I loved it when he came back at the end.
It's kind of like, it's a little bit like Galaxy Quest in that way, right? Where you see Mole Man at the beginning, you think, oh, that might be it. Like it's going to be something like the Amazing Spider-Man with Rhino, you know, where like he comes in and it's like, yeah, we get it. He's hilarious because he's dopey. We get it. You see him in the beginning, you're like, yeah, we get it. It's like the Rhino. It's kind of dopey. In the third act, Mole Man saves Manhattan. Come on, man.
He has
Come
his
on.
own nation of Subterranea.
Oh,
Like, take that,
so
Jeweler.
good.
Jeweler was all Jeweler had was like 11 hobos. This
It's
guy's
so
got a whole
good.
town.
And that's another thing too I noticed about this movie is that one, it ain't cheap. There ain't nothing cheap about this movie, even though you are in the Baxter building for a long time and you're just dealing with the four of them a lot. It doesn't feel that way. It feels like there's a lot going on all the time. And it also feels like there's something so otherworldly about this movie. I know that we're in the 828. I caught that reference, even though I had to look it up. Like, is that actually Jack Kirby's birthday? Like, I didn't know that. I'm not that big a nerd that I know Jack Kirby's birthday.
Well.
But now I do. Now I know Jack Kirby's birthday. It's pretty cool. I want to say, remember me complaining last week that they were coding Ben Grimm as Italian, even though he's Jewish in the movie. They ain't doing that in this movie. He is full on Jewy Jew, and it's awesome.
I was off the air for a little bit, so I'm just talking about whatever. The thing made me so happy. Like
we waited because we knew that you had a lot to say.
Let's start off. Tell us what you think about the eyebrows.
It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I'm so, like, when I saw it in the teaser trailer, I was blown away. I was like, these sons of bitches, they finally did it. And they did. They actually finally did it. They made him look at the proportions are correct. I love all the clothes that he wears.
Yes.
All of that. It's just good golly. And because they've been around for 3 years and the relationship that they have to everybody within the city and everything, I love that stuff, that they're not hiding out. He is kind of like, he's still the thing. So he's still, but he's a minor celebrity within town and stuff like that. Right. He's not always, we don't have to go down the, the eye monster, category yet again. It's super fun to kind of like live in another little world here a little bit where everybody knows him. I love the scene with the kids showing off and picking up the car and everything.
This is my question, though.
I love it.
If that was your car, Adam, how would you feel if you walk outside and the thing just happened to choose your car to entertain the kids with?
Well, I would not be happy.
Well, first of all,
I wouldn't be happy, but I wouldn't express.
If anything bad happens to that car, you're going to be just fine.
It would be one of those situations where I would be so angry and so afraid to express that anger at the same time.
I love how he balks like he's throwing it at the kids.
So good.
Because anything on the dashboard is in the floor once he does that.
I didn't think about that, but that's true. Somebody's not finding their glasses.
And it's not like they're playing it where he doesn't feel like he's a monster. He totally does. It's just that it's subtly done. It's not him screaming from the rooftops about how he's a monster. How can anyone love him? Where is a hot black blind girl that can love me?
It's contemplative, but not in a way that feels overly emo. And and you can get to that point at some point with Ben Grimm. That's perfectly fine, but we don't need it every bloody time out either.
Right. I was so surprised or confused or something by Natasha Lyonne with the straight hair. Because I don't think I've ever seen her ever with straight hair. So it had that real feeling like she looks like Natasha Lyonne, but she's not. But then it actually was her. So it was a strange way to feel when she first popped on.
She could have 17 pounds of special effects makeup on her face. The second I hear that voice, I know who it is.
I'm sorry, sir. Instantly. Can you hear me in the dark?
Oh, are you telling me Ben Grimm thinks I'm cute?
Oh,
nah, I never smoked a day in my life.
That's the funny thing is she's the one with the cigars in this equation. Which
I was waiting for her to go blind for some reason. And
I love her. I love her in this. I think that she's just an adorable doll lady in this movie. I love her.
I like her in everything I've ever seen her in. Even bad movies. I like her performance. I'm talking about those American Pie sequels.
Let's see. But yeah, Ben was fantastic. Again, we finally done it right. We got him to where he's CGI. He's the right size and everything. They just wrote a smart character. And again, every character in this movie feels appropriate and feels like the character that they're supposed to be portraying. And we just haven't seen that in a bunch of Fantastic Four movies. You caught glimpses of it, pieces of it here and there. But this feels like, I'm telling you, when we go through the montage part at the beginning and everything, just our the last 3 years here and whatnot, seeing Fantastic Four covers just come to life.
Yeah.
Oh my God, just pure. You couldn't have wiped a bigger smile off of my face at this moment. It was so damn cool. Everything was just, I went in with low expectations and was just blown out of the water by like how much I loved it, how much they got right. And again, for somebody that was really going to hold up a strong finger at this movie and everything, I was very shocked. And again, Pedro shocked the hell out of me. I was like, the Corona guy, I believe, is smart.
I think that
congratulations, movie, you did it.
The thing that I think, I guess what I'd say is the thing that I think probably touched my inner child the most, the thing that serviced this fan the most would have been like all the old school cartoons that they worked in, and then the ones they kind of repurposed. But boy, that really hit like my nostalgia strings. It strummed them quite nicely.
Because this is a movie. This is a movie for middle-aged men. Like that is who this movie is. That is their core audience. They nailed it, and so it's just so surprising to me that so many just like everyday like average folk are going to see this movie and they're just amazed with what they've just seen.
That's exciting to me. That people are connecting with it, because that was like, for me walking out of it, I just go, listen, I know this was really good for me. I'm a giant Fantastic Four fan. So this spoke directly to me. I'm like, I don't know how that's going to translate for everyone else, but shockingly, it seems to be doing so. And who would have thought doing the thing from the comic from 50 years ago would have been the correct choice?
Well, there's the conceit of it, which is what was missing in the first place. Every time they try to make it like a modern tale, something looks off and wrong about it. But you make it in this like this really great like retro futuristic, like one of the things that I love about this movie, and Michael Giacchino, who he did all the Avengers soundtrack stuff, he did all the Iron Man soundtrack stuff, and who we have stated in the past is the Burger King of movie composers. He did a great job in this movie. My favorite thing that he does is whenever something is being constructed or worked on in the Fantastic Four's Manhattan, it has that Looney Tunes blink, 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 ding, blink, 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 like that kind of music that is perfect. It is just perfect for it. It's like when I was talking to Bruce earlier about the costumes for this movie. That person needs to win an award. They won't. They'll never win an Academy Award for a Marvel movie. It'll never happen. But it's so perfect. What Pedro Pascal is wearing in this film, I want to go out and buy. What Sue is wearing makes her look so hot, and not in like a lecherous way, but like she looks so hot in this movie, and it's so cool. And like there's some, that is what's been missing from the Fantastic Four, is the coolness of it. Like it should feel cool, but this retro futuristic cool. And they totally nail it in this movie. They just nail it, man. I even like the knit turtlenecks in their superhero costumes. Like such a nice old fashioned touch. Yeah, it is. There is no stone unturned when it comes to thought put into this film.
And everyone else is, because we're all of the same era and everything, everyone else has their, like 60s garb on and stuff like that. And they look fantastic. Everybody, like, it's like New York City looks like New York City. You know what I'm saying? Like people are dressed to the nines, like the old school style. It's just so great. It's a comic book come to life. And that's what I wanted. And thank God it's what they finally given us here is, hey, that's Fantastic Four. And we made it into a movie proper. Who knew?
Yeah. Who knew?
That's what kind of bothers me so much. It's just like, you see, it was right here the whole time.
You stupid bastard. You had the ability to do this all along. You didn't.
All about it. Silver. Okay. Let's Silver Surfer. I don't know if you got to touch on that or not.
We have not spoken about her or Galactus at all.
Silver Surfer. I mean, like, listen, would I rather have been Nornrad? Sure. But do I much care that it was a lady? But the story's basically the same. So I don't care all that much.
No.
My care wasn't so much about my particular ability to enjoy the story, my concern was like, I just wanted them to play everything safe. And I thought it looks like they're just playing everything so safe. It looks like they want to just make sure, you don't have to hit it 500 yards as long as it goes out of the, out of the park. You're good. You just need that home run. And so I was worried that it would be one of those things where they were like so close, and then anybody to find anything to pick at is going to pick at it. But fortunately, I was wrong there. It seems like it's gone over just fine. I enjoyed it just fine. I think that I see benefit to it for the story. I think it was done for a reason and not just for the pure sake of, the sticking with the trend to gender swap stuff on occasion.
Right.
I think it made sense when you look at the way this parallels the original Galactus saga, Galactus trilogy, whatever they called that, original 3 issues back when it happened. And in that, it's Sue who reaches Norrin Rad, but here it would make more sense that motherhood connection would serve as a link, and then Johnny's kind of the go-between so that it doesn't happen quite the same way as it did in the comic book story. But it tells the same story in a way that maybe more people can link into now than they could if they told that same story today.
And it gives Johnny something to do, which is nice, because very often Johnny can be maligned off in a story just because he's not like, save for the, Flame On and everything, he's not contributing too many other things so often. So to give him that kind of extra little bit of business and everything really helps kind of, complete an arc for a character as well.
And that's the great thing about the writing for this film is that everybody does have something to do. There isn't somebody just standing by. I guess you could say the Thing really isn't doing a ton at the end of this movie, bashing through that one skyscraper so Galactus can fall over. Like that's his contribution. I don't know how big a contribution that
tied
is.
Galactus's shoes together.
But what you gonna do? He a big rock thing. Ain't a whole lot that guy can do.
We've already done stuff to his eyes at this point. So
I think that one of the cool things about the Silver Surfer in this is how awesome they make it look while she's riding the surfboard, especially when she's at the black hole.
Yeah, all the wormhole stuff.
And she's surfing on the accretion disk of the black hole and all that, and she's dodging rock and debris, and it's just
everything is like space and time is all liquidy and stuff like that. So she actually
awesome,
is surfing and stuff through. It's very cool.
It's the best Silver Surfer sequence we've gotten as nerds. It's the best one we've gotten so far.
For sure, for sure.
Especially looking back after last week and stuff like that, where it was just like, oh, golly.
I still think that Johnny and Silver Surfer at the beginning of the Alba Fantastic Four, that's a pretty good sequence.
Oh, everything. Yeah, that's very cool.
It's the top of those 2 films. I mean, that is the high point, the high water mark for those movies.
But it don't even come close.
But when Larry Fishburne opens his mouth and just like gives that bland ass performance that like we would even think is bland for, the Silver Surfer, you're like, come on, bro.
I like Julia Garner, the person they've cast for Silver Surfer here. I watched that Ozark show with Matthew Broderick, listen to me, with Jason Bateman. Oh my goodness.
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, and then also
America's Treasure, Jason Bateman.
I watched that mini series. I think it was Inventing Anna, which is kind of based on this true story about a scam artist. Anyway, she's a pretty good actor, so I even liked her in that werewolf movie that she had last summer.
I have not seen that movie, but I do like her in Ozark. I think she's great in that, and I think that I mean that's my only exposure to her. She's in Marcy May Marlene or whatever that movie is called. Yeah. I've seen that movie. I don't remember her in it. I'll be honest.
I think one of her biggest strengths is regardless of what the character needs, she really rolls into personality.
Yeah.
And this is a character that by design needed to be almost devoid of personality. So I think she was a little miscast, but I was excited to see what she would do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think they made a very smart and wise decision with how we look at her eyes and everything. I think that because that's a tough thing to do. And they got like I think the right kind of sweet spot to where we're not looking at blank stuff the entire time, but we're not looking at like brown pupils, for example.
Right.
That's not the right. It's irises, Bruce. I'm sorry. I don't want to you reach through the internet and choke me. I'm like, that's wrong. No, I'm sorry.
I can tune things out.
He's like, I've learned to tune you out years ago. Don't worry. He just says wrong stuff all the time. We let him fly.
Did any of the people that they cast have negative baggage for you? Like, were there any concerns or?
The only one for me is Pedro Pascal, because he's in bloody everything, and so I was worried about the overexposure, and I didn't want it to be the Pedro Pascal movie, and it isn't. It's the Fantastic Four movie, and Pedro Pascal is in it.
And
Well,
at the same time, too, they don't make here. My biggest concern, just because again we live in the time with which we live, that they were going to make Sue like the smart one here to solve everything, and Reed would be the dumb or something. And it's like that. The thought of that rubbed me wrong so bad. I was just like, I hope they don't, but they don't. Thankfully, Reed is smart, but like it's not like they don't give her agency. She's got plenty of smarts and brains on her, which is fantastic. But
she's the only one keeping. She's the one keeping this entire movie together. I mean, Vanessa Kirby has to do. I was saying this when you weren't around, Portress. She has the hardest job in this entire movie, the actress herself, because they're doing her no favors with some of the dialogue that they're giving her in this movie, especially that speech where we're all one big family, we're Earthlings, we're all one big family. Well, and they're just slamming you over the head with this is what this movie is about. It's the only time in the movie where I was like, oh, come on, man. Like, you couldn't, like, give that another pass. Give that speech another pass. It's the only time it was like, yes, we get it. Let's move on, please.
They did a couple of audience test screens. Like, these dum-dums are not getting the morals.
Right. At times, though, I think it does feel like they just borrowed a tiny bit from this comic book recipe about the Fantastic Four that I like, which is basically Reed is the leader because Sue says so.
Oh, that's good.
And it kind of has a little bit of that dynamic. Like, he doesn't necessarily want to be the leader, and she's also the one with that human element that keeps the family together, but she has the judgment to know that he needs to be the leader.
Yeah, I've always liked the idea that she's helping kind of shepherd things along and push him in the direction that he needs to go, because sometimes he could get lost in the sauce on everything, because that's the type of person that he is he's going to get lost. So he needs somebody to be like, hey, let's look over here where, something else might be.
The other thing I think that they do well in this film to set it up for later is that a lot of the time they do that thing with Reed and Doom where they're like, we're not so different, you and I. They do that an awful lot with those two. And they're already setting up that the biggest difference between Reed and let's just say some other really smart scientific mind that may or may not show up later, is that Reed has the anchor of his love of his family, like for real in this movie. It is not some conceit that people just keep saying. You can actually feel it in this movie.
Like everybody cares about everyone else. It's astoundingly different than what we've seen in the previous films, where it seems like everybody just showed up to set for the first time that day.
Right. Like, let's think about for a second that one of my favorite scenes in this, by the way, all of the Ben Grimm stuff is done so perfectly. Like, he's not screaming and yelling throughout this movie like Chickless on stilts. Like, he's just perfect. He's so soft spoken, but it's not like it's not like Silver Surfer in the Alba Fantastic Four. Like,
he's not moping or nothing like that.
None of that.
He's just low key.
He is emoting. It's just soft spoken emoting. But the part that I absolutely love about this movie is that when the power goes out and Ben is shaving and he stops and he comes out of the bathroom and Johnny's like, oh, you might want to keep a beard. It looks good. And like, you think he's going to hammer at him about something, but he doesn't. He's offering good advice. Ben does look better with a beard. And it's so awesome. And it's one of those moments that's missing from the other Fantastic Four movies where, like, just high-fiving and fist bumping, it isn't enough. You have to actually show that you people care for each other. And they really do. These four people care immensely about each other.
Yeah. Ben and Johnny always got along like brothers and stuff like that. And like their relationship is very much the same with my brother and I's relationship, where you're just kind of smacking each other and cause a little bit of trouble, but you do it because you love each other and stuff like that. And they got that bit of their relationship here to where there was some of that. And like you said, then there's the moments of just kind of some niceties and stuff in there, which you don't see in the other ones where it's just like, ha, 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 but not a moment of like, hey, that's my brother.
Right.
I really like the uncle energy too that we get from Johnny and Ben, something that was kind of missing from the other stuff. You know, we never really had a baby Franklin, so I guess that's why it was missing, but you don't see a whole lot of like cool uncles really in things that can be just that right mix of like 80s sitcom, the Full House style Uncle Jesse and Uncle Joey and whatever their names were.
Yeah,
but,
I would also, I would, I'm sorry, Bruce, keep going. I'm sorry.
And I was just going to say, but they kind of strike that tone, which I think is refreshing. I think some people are going to like that too. I think that this is going to communicate with folks on a level that they don't realize they're communicating at times.
Agreed. The thing that I was going to say earlier here is that I want to congratulate Marvel. Marvel is not doing the typical Marvel jokes in this movie. I expected them to, like that scene in the last Spider-Man movie where like the guy tells Peter Parker his name and he goes, "Really?" Like, it's a very Marvel-y joke. They had every opportunity to do Marvel-y jokes in this movie with Galactus, Devourer of Worlds. They play that completely straight.
Oh, he hungry.
Yeah, exactly. There's none of that stuff. There's none of that stuff in this. It isn't. I mean, there's certainly jokes in it, but it's not like those Marvel-y jokes.
No one says, "Time for your dessert, Galactus." Pow!
Right.
None of that crap.
Right. Or like I'm thinking, even though it isn't Marvel, I'm thinking of that stupid joke in the Rise of Skywalker where like they fly now. Like,
yeah, I wanted to die. I was just like, listen, Star Wars can have some of these cool moments in here, but that was not it, brother. That felt so cringe.
But that is a very Marvel joke.
Oh, yeah.
And that has no place in this movie, which is what I like about it.
Oh, yeah. Thankfully, maybe it's the time frame that kind of made him go like, maybe we don't do things like that. Or maybe you should, continue this on throughout the rest of these things if you want to make our days.
Did anything give you guys pause? Because there was one thing I'm going to pick one nit in the whole film.
Please tell me so
that if you guys had anything.
I can think about it while you're talking about it.
Well, the gigantic cathode ray tube televisions that are all over town, when they start broadcasting stuff, it's one thing to have big monitors in town, but these are all CRT TVs. Those are just going to be so heavy. And all I could do is my back started hurting watching this town and thinking about those things that have to be switched out every 7 years.
And hot.
Oh,
think about the size of those things and the heat that's going to emit off of that. And then you've got all of those around here. That's got to raise the temperature 20 degrees just walking around. Now it's nice in the wintertime, don't get me wrong. But in the summer, forget about it. Turn them
those things have to be long to be that big around. So that's like it's the whole floor of the building. It's not like it's just strapped to the outside of the building. And there's floors above it. So you got to like take the elevator up, then climb out on the fire escape, go to the other side of it, and then get back in the building.
It goes on the outside like the pyramid thing in Las Vegas, which I hear doesn't work very well.
I think that my one, like, it's like you said, it's a pause, not a concern. It's more of a pause. Is that you make baby cosmic power baby. It's great in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is eventually there's going to be a writer who doesn't know how to deal with cosmic powered baby and going to make a Twilight Zone episode.
Cosmic Baby Day Out.
No, not something great like Baby's Day Out, like something bad. And so that is it has nothing to do with this movie, right? It has to do with what will come later. Because I think that the people who are behind, like I said at the beginning of our show here, the people who make this movie know what they're doing and know what the line looks like and know what they can and can't do. And when they're not sure, they discuss it with each other. They're not talking to 70 producers at Marvel. They're making their movie. Whereas down the line, Franklin's going to be 7, 8, 9 in some movie, being done by someone who isn't as deft with their hand as the makers of this movie, and it's going to be the shittiest, cheesiest thing you've ever seen.
When Franklin does a kickflip, it's all over.
At least they did do one safety measure. They aged Franklin up to 4 years old, because how tempting would it be for every movie to be trying to get back the baby?
Right.
And I think they know Baby in Peril is probably not a good look for Disney, so they aged him. So at the very worst, it's Toddler in Peril going forward.
Right.
Let's talk about Galactus, man. We got an actual Galactus, and he ain't a cloud. Again, what a thought.
I loved Galactus. No notes. No notes. I mean, I wish that he had the voice of Patrice O'Neal, but other than that, no notes.
Galactus just saying the N-word a bunch. Love to see that.
So I will straight up admit, I did not recognize that as Ralph Ineson. I knew I recognized the face of Galactus, but I didn't know who it was in the theater. I had to look it up afterward. And so seeing that it's Ralph Ineson, and I was like, and I didn't want to look at what his filmography was, because I was trying to remember what I know him from. And I kept thinking to myself, like, well, surely that guy's played a pirate. That guy looks like a pirate like 1,000 times. This guy looks like a pirate. But no. You know him as the dad from the Vavitch.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where we know him from.
And he's amazing in that movie. He is amazing in that.
Oh, yeah.
That movie has some incredible sound design.
It does indeed. And, you know, it's one of the, like, having him in it, like I don't know what makes someone go, you know, I think that he's got a real Galactus-y face. But he does. He does have a Galactic-y face, man.
It's
well cast. I hate to say it. Galactus is very well cast in this movie.
Yeah, the mouth, it winds up, and he's scary at moments. It's like you've made Galactus a real honest to God threat who doesn't care about things. He's cold-hearted. I'm like, again, congratulations, you did it. You pulled through comic stuff and made it accurate. God bless. I love it.
I was worried how they'd rebound after Leslie Jordan died, but they picked it up.
I don't think I have any complaints on that. And I like how he's like, I'm just gonna eat all of you slow and stuff like that. His just like threats and everything are just completely
in the dirt when he climbs out of the sea. I love
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
Oh, it's getting such a nice, it's such a great real moment, isn't it?
Well, I loved it.
Like going into the ring like Maximus, so good, man, so good.
I think, like, that's how Transformers movies should have felt, Mr. Bay. They should have felt like Galactus was coming out of the sea.
Yeah, but that would mean that somebody would have to be good at their job for those movies, and that we all know that didn't happen, except for Hasbro. Hasbro very good at their job. Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about here is I want to talk about the Jack Kirby-ness of Galactus and his ship. It feels like Jack Kirby literally made that thing, man. Like when you're inside of Galactus's ship and you're seeing like just like the shadowy visage of Galactus and just how cool that is. And there's pipes that lead to nowhere and they're glowing and it's awesome. And it looks gross, but cool at the same time and futuristic, but also the oldest thing you've ever seen at the same time. It is so perfectly done.
I really felt like it was influenced a lot by the Fourth World stuff he did at DC, like Darkseid's Apocalypse Planet, whatever that's called.
Yeah, whatever that might, whatever that Apocalypse Planet might be called.
Called Apocalypse Planet.
Apocalypse Planet. I think that I agree. I agree with you. I think there is a lot of Fourth World. You know what? It feels like the other side of Kirby, right? Like, you know, in that Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok, right? Yeah, Thor Ragnarok. They get the bright early Kirby, right? This is like the later, like Marvel has screwed over Jack Kirby, like Jack Kirby barely making it by. This is what his art looks like now. That's really what Galactus's ship looks like to me, man. It looks awesome.
Throughout this whole thing, I kept thinking, like, if those two guys were still alive, they would be so happy with this movie and like what it represents and how it represents their work.
Oh, you know what?
Done so well.
There is one thing about this movie that made me go, like literally, I thought fart noise when I saw it. It's the name of their spaceship is called the Excelsior. I hated that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, that got a big cheer from my group.
Did it?
Yeah.
I thought it was so like on the nose. Yes, we know Stan Lee said Excelsior. Like it just felt that way. Like it's too much for this film.
Okay. Let me talk you down. Let me make you feel a little bit better. All right.
Please. I would like that.
Because let's say they did that, but let's say they also decided to put his face on a fin. So they didn't do that.
They did not.
So mark yourself lucky that it was just a word and not his smiling face on the side of the fin going upwards and just, maybe thumbs up or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what they want to do.
They could have called it the soapbox.
Oh,
yeah, they could have.
The launch pad's called a soapbox. You could really get into a horrible set of affairs with all of this crap. So at least we gotta mark ourselves lucky that they just wrote on the side of the thing.
You definitely could. I created everything at Marvel Memorial.
The I Did It Museum.
Yeah, I take credit for everything that's ever happened at Marvel Museum.
The great part is all the displays and everything do have the original like writers and artist names on it, but it's just crossed out and Stan's names underneath.
Do you guys remember when I created Captain America?
One of my favorites was when he did a little voice cameo on The Simpsons and took the thing and crammed him inside of Batman's car and stuff, and he hands it to Milhouse or whomever, and it was just like, you ruined it. I ruined it or made it better. Like it's like it was the most Stan Lee thing ever. It's like, I'm just gonna jam my shit into your shit, give it back to you, and be like, you're welcome. I'm Stan Lee.
So Portress.
Mm-hmm.
What you think, and Bruce? What did you guys think of the mid credits stinger?
I like that we were going through 3 years. I like how we saw nothing. Just it was that nice little tease. What also kind of felt funny is that it felt like at least a quarter of the audience that I was with didn't understand what the hell was going on. So that was kind of fun too, where I was just like, nice. Oh, some of y'all don't get it. And I'm like, you're gonna get it, and that's what's gonna be super fun. But yeah. For what it was is it's exactly what I figured they would do, or close enough to what I would figure that they would do, and I'm glad that they did it just to this level.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the mid-credits scene would maybe transition to how they're going to enter the 616. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that they didn't do that. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about the fact that I didn't get what I was expecting just yet. So I'm curious what you guys think on that particular topic.
I don't think they know. I don't think they know that yet. And I don't think that this is the movie to try to figure that out. The thing that I really love about this film, you don't have to watch 17 different Marvel movies to know what's going on. You get it. Like, you understand what this movie is. If you are like, you have to have a passing knowledge of the Fantastic Four, which you've just gotten through like social like engineering. Like, you know who the Fantastic Four is.
And they do enough of a good job up front with our kind of standard comic book, like, hey, here's your sort of thing now. And I like that we're getting to that. We're just pop right through it here and everything, but you get the gist. And they weave it enough into the story that it makes sense. And again, another fun bullshit Fantastic Four trope that I love. And we said it in the other movie, and we do it in this movie as well, which is we get everybody in, we're like, hey, we're finally going to do the thing, and then whoops, work calls, we got to get off onto the next thing. And that's so Fantastic Four, and I do love it for that.
And I do as well. I think that the thing that I like about the mid credits is that it's so open for whatever. Like look, we're just introducing Dr. Doom. We know Robert Downey Jr. is Dr. Doom. You know that Robert Downey Jr. is playing Dr. Doom.
His face
we don't want to pay Robert Downey Jr. to be in this movie, so we're just gonna have his back turned to the camera, the mask down on the floor. Like, let's go.
Get me Robert Downey Jr.'s non-English, non-union equivalent. So we'll stand him right in there, and that'll be that.
Right. And I'm not saying in any way that it's a bad thing that it didn't happen, but I did fully go into this anticipating to see Robert Downey Jr. in some degree as Victor.
I'm glad we did.
Were you glad or not, though, about that?
I think that it's a good sign that I didn't even think about it until I thought about it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I think it's a good thing that they didn't do it, But to say that I'm glad about it might take some time. Like when I actually do see him, then I'll be able to go back and say, well, I'm glad I didn't see it there, but now there's just too much unknown.
You know what I kind of liked about this is I almost thought that the way that we were going to do this was how the movie was setting it up, which I thought was kind of a clever thing, or at least for folks like us who kind of know a little something about a little something. When their idea initially was to, move Earth off to another thing, I thought, oh, well, this will be the interesting way that we somehow end up crossed over and all that kind of good stuff.
I'm
and
so
then we
glad.
go off. Exactly. I was like, all right, if that's how you're going to do it, that's how you're going to do it. But we go off that path and then they go, wait a minute, it's a smarter idea, just moving him as opposed to the whole damn thing. And so that leading, again, it's a smart thing, and they use story to tell it to us and whatnot. And I thought that was just not what Marvel's been doing lately, so I was lovely shocked.
The thing that I really love about the end of this movie is that it basically has the same plot contrivances as an episode of Scooby-Doo, with the one exception of and I would have gotten away with it. Literally everything up until that moment with the third act of this movie is like the plot of a Scooby-Doo cartoon, where like we have a plan in place. This is how we're going to fix all this.
Mm-hmm.
Something goes kablooey. They got to think up something on the fly. They figure it out. They get the guy to where he actually needs to be, and then the day is saved. It's the Scooby-Doo mechanism, and it totally works. There's a reason why that show is on the air for 25 years.
There's a tale as old as time. Is like there's a reason why formulas very often work. Is because they very are often tried and true and tested methods. So, you gotta enjoy that.
They said something about a mousetrap and building it for,
Right, exactly. There's two things I take away having watched this movie. One is that I'm definitely going to watch Thunderbolts now. Like I hadn't seen it yet. I'm definitely going to go watch that movie now. And two, if nothing good ever happens again in the Marvel universe, you have this one film to point to and say, that's the last time Marvel was great. And no one is going to dispute that. I mean, even people who don't love the movie, like I think the three of us do, we're gushing all over this movie. I think that for the most part, everybody, this kind of has a Dark Knight feel to it, right? Where like universally, this is considered a very, very good movie. And I think that at least we'll have that. Like, even if Avengers Doomsday is just utter trash, we still have this movie.
Yeah, right? You have you have a standalone Fantastic Four movie that is really, really good. And and again, if you only ever watched this, you'd be super happy. And like there's an odd part of me that just goes, do I want to watch anything after this? That's a sick thought, but it's just like, oh, I don't know. But I am so pleased with what they gave us, and it does feel like Marvel's kind of gotten a brand new start with this, and the fact that we're not referencing back to other stuff, just it gave it a sense of liveliness, a sense of newness that we haven't gotten in some time, and it didn't feel obliged to other things or hampered by what could possibly be in the future. It had a pretty good linear thought process of like, hey, let's make a good movie.
Yeah. And it made me excited for Doomsday. Whenever Avengers Doomsday comes out, I don't think I've been excited for like a big Marvel movie in a long time.
I don't know what it is about that movie. That has the earmarks of something awful is coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe it's amazing. Maybe it's the best thing anyone's ever seen. But my God, it has all of the hallmarks, all of the spaces where you're like, well, that's a bad idea. Oh, that's a bad idea. It's happening again and again and again with that film.
I will say this: if they definitely, whoever is responsible, because there's 88 writers on this flick.
Yeah.
But whomever came up with, and made sure that our characters stayed the way that our characters are, y'all need to make sure that Doom stays in that vein as well, because it feels like you understand Fantastic Four, and I hope that if you do that, you also understand Doom, because Doom can be an easy character for people to screw up as well.
Yeah.
And I'm so eager to get some answers about Doom, whether they're good answers or bad answers. I just want answers. So that's probably another reason I'm looking forward to Doomsday, along with the fact that it's the next time we're going to get to see this crew of Fantastic Four.
I do like the Latveria little, the empty chair and stuff during
That
the
was a
world
great
meeting.
touch.
Fun little things
Best
like
touch
that.
of this movie. Best touch of this movie. Marvel, we know you're watching. We know you're listening. Whichever writer came up with the idea that Galactus wants Franklin real bad because he wants him to take his job over because Galactus don't want to be Galactus anymore. Whoever wrote that, whoever put that into this script, keep him on, put him on Avengers Doomsday. This is the good version of Superman v Batman or Batman v Superman, whichever one it is, Dawn of Justice, where a writer figures out that both Superman and Batman's mom's name is Martha, and they really thought they had something there. They did not. The guy who came up with Galactus want Franklin because Galactus tired, Galactus want to go home. That is the best idea. That is such a great comic booky, amazing idea. Keep that guy employed, please.
It's like, guys, I'm tired of eating. Can I stop eating for just a moment? I want to go to Acapulco and just sit down for a couple of minutes and relax and not eat another planet. Please and thank you.
Galactus wants to become one of those cruise seniors where I just go on cruises all the time. That's all I want.
He's so tired. He just wants to be able to die. He's an immortal. He's an eternal. He can't die. So, at least let him do something besides eat planets forever.
It is kind of a fun idea that, Galactus is kind of like he's been doing this for eons and he's bored and tired and doesn't want to do it anymore. I never really thought about it, but it's kind of fun.
Great. It's a great conceit. And it's so good. I've got to think that one of those big brain writers over at Marvel has already thought of that and they just used it in the script, but I ain't read that story. So I'm going to give them credit for right now.
Credit where sometimes credit is due.
It was Joss Whedon's idea. They've been sitting on it.
Oh my boy, gone forever, ain't he?
We'll just let that guy keep mistreating ladies as long as he keeps coming up with these great ideas. What else you got there, Joshy?
This is real good though. Jeez, please. Now normally we go through and we talk about if we wanted recasting, but I'll be honest with you, I couldn't pick a person in this that I would want to recast shockingly, and I would have figured Pedro Pascal would have been numero uno on the list. But God bless him. Like I said, I will 100% give credit where credit is due, and he did it this time. So no,
he's great in this. He's great in it, man.
No, I don't have any recasting.
Yeah, it's wild, right? They did it.
Nothing other than just. Maybe some of the third tier supporting characters that aren't really important to anybody but me.
Oh yeah. Portress, I know you've seen the show. You've seen show on Apple about coach who is soccer coach.
Ted Lasso?
Ted Lasso, thank you.
You're talking about
the black lady who is basically the liaison and the PR person for Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Did you recognize her?
It's it's been since
she's Lasso's therapist.
Oh, the black lady. Yeah. I love her. She was such a great character, and I'll go back and watch again for her because
that lady is an unbelievable actress based on her character in Ted Lasso and her character now.
Yeah,
in Fantastic Four, because those aren't the same two people.
No,
you would never guess.
I would recast that lady so that this episode could end.
All right, well, let's get down to it. Bruce, what are your star rating and recommendation for Fantastic Four First Steps?
I think this exceeded on every level. One, I won't call it a shortcut because there's nothing easy about it, but one surefire way to success is to build a world I enjoy spending time in so much that the story is of very little consequence. They did that here. Plus, they gave us a decent story that they didn't screw up. They basically just had to get out of the way of the story. And not only did they get out of the way, they gave us a few interesting twists that we got to have a little bit of fun talking about. Recency bias and all. I think I've been burned too many times to go straight to the 5-star, but I'm going to go 4.5 with the right to change my mind someday.
Yeah. Sean?
I'm going 5-star. I'm going to go 5-star on this. I'm throwing caution to the wind. I think this is one of those movies that unless it's around all the time and everyone's so damn sick of it, like they were with ET in like 1986. Like think about early 1986, how sick everyone was of ET.
Well, according to the box office, they were not. 57 weeks at number 1.
But think about how, like, well, you weren't conscious enough to know. Bruce and I were. It was literally you couldn't go anywhere. ET was literally everywhere. If that's the way Fantastic Four gets, then yes, we're all going to be sick of this movie. This movie is the best Fantastic Four movie we'll ever get. We'll never get something better than this. It is a visual triumph. It is a triumph of storytelling. It's a triumph of giving a franchise one last try. Like, listen, we know we've disappointed you. We've got all the good people on this one thing. We promise you this is good. And God damn it, it is good. So I'm giving this 5 stars.
4th time's the charm, guys.
Yeah. Hey, that's the tag for the sequel that won't be nearly as good as the original.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to give myself a little wiggle room. I'm with Bruce. I'm like right at 4.5. We're as close as we can get here. I'm astounded.
Coward. You're a coward, Portress.
Hey, listen, let me see it one more time. I just want you, like you said, like we all, I'm not putting it to this level, mind you, but we all came out of episode 1 going, no, that was good. That was real good. And we all saw it 5 more times just to make sure. Now, this is not that. This is not that by any stretch of the imagination. I just want to make sure I'm going in for the full freight for the 5. And you know me, I'll give it when I got to give it. I will. Believe you me.
You will change your mind on things too.
Yeah, I've watched a movie many a time that I'd seen previously, and I thought I absolutely hated it, and I was like, oh no, this is actually decent. I was incorrect. Sometimes you can hit a bad day. It happens to all of us. But yeah, 4.5. It's stupendous. I am so happy whenever this comes out on DVD. This will be a regular rotation for me. Again, almost speechless, damn near speechless here. If you'd like to hear other things, I got a whole half-hour thing that I recorded on the other YouTube.
Bruce is gonna kill me. I've got to ask this question. What did your dad think of this movie?
Oh, he loved it.
Did he?
Oh yeah, I was just like we couldn't get much better than this. I mean, it was literally just a love letter to Fantastic Four fans, and I'm so glad that everyone else is on board with it as well. Because that's what again, I walked out of it going like, I know I like this movie. I don't know how everyone else is going to respond to this, but it seems like they are, and that's amazing. And it makes me so happy that the FF might actually live on.
I'm glad that I personally made it through this fantastic 4th of July month without downright hating any of it.
Hey, that's true.
Yeah, very much so.
That's true.
Boys, we got to
hate anything.
You're right. We all the Fantastic Four movies, and we didn't out and out. Yeah, no one was throwing up or nothing. We did a good job,
guys.
I fully expected a lot of hate, and there was none.
Mm-hmm.
Think of my impotent rage with nowhere to go when we were in the smack dab in the middle of that Karate Kid fiasco.
Yeah, well,
and now look at us basking in the glow of like the best Fantastic Four movie anyone has ever seen.
Well, that might go astray next month, but we'll talk about that in just a second.
Yeah.
But first off,
Fortress Bucks.
We got one in from the night part here. It says, "Hello, boys. I said to Adam when he reached the reacted to the FF trailer. I should read this before I say it. I probably won't see this movie, but now I'm thinking I might just go see it.
You got to see it, dude.
Go see it. It's worth it.
Yeah, you got to see it, Nightbard. Like it literally is one of those. It's one of those movies that we're probably never going to get something this singular ever again. It is of singular vision, and it won't get better than this. Like
just don't let the massive oversized cathode ray tube television monitors take you out.
You know how the first season of Loki felt like that, where it's just like, oh, this is something that's a little bit special. This feels like that.
Fortress Bucks.
Trillian also says, I never thought about the Thing being able to grow a beard before this, but I loved that touch.
Did make me ask a lot of questions, though. I wish I didn't have to ask.
Nah, yeah, it does start to make things outside of that area a little bit more like you're like, all right, well, what are we talking about now? Or
So what's it look like down there? Right? Am I right?
Thank goodness he had pants the whole movie.
Hey, listen, we learned from the
hating that
Josh
last
Trank
week.
movie. You never know what might happen over there in the land of the thing, as it were. That is it, everybody. We got more stuff coming for you next week. Because if you like this show, I got news for you. We got another show just like it coming down the pipe next week. Because we're doing a little something different. Now, I know we initially had another announcement, but guess what? It's our show and we do whatever the hell we want over here. So next week, we're actually jumping into a brand new month. I don't know if we have an official name for it yet, but we are going to be talking about the new Naked Gun movie, the new movie that is out in theaters, starring Liam Neeson as Frank Jr., I guess?
Yeah, Frank Drebin Jr.
So this will be interesting to see. And then after that, we're going to go into the other Naked Gun movies and stuff like that and check those out and see how those differ between the new thing and whatnot. And whether we can recapture the years of past. I don't know. And to me, I'm excited about this one because it's from the Lonely Island, one of the Lonely Island guys and stuff like that. And those movies have been pretty good.
They are.
And I'm not here to argue for or against anything, but I'm going to float this out there to you, Sean. Septronber.
Oh.
But Bruce, hold on.
Oh.
We also have all the other Tron stuff in there. Like, have you seen any of that stuff?
What's this feeling I have? I'm unfamiliar. I think it's called joy.
He's having a stroke.
I haven't been happy since I was like 8. What's going on? What's going on right now?
So
Naked Gun and then Tron? What have I done?
The fanciful world we live in.
My word.
So we'll be covering that next week. So head on out to the theaters to see Naked Gun 2025, and we'll be talking about that. That is it for this episode of Half-Ass Movie Podcast. Join us next week for Naked Gun for Sweet Sean's and Go Back from the Internet. Bruce Leslie, I'm Adam Portress, reminding you to get out there and watch the movies, you dirty babies.